I'm Manuela. I'm a professor, a physician, a songstress, and available. It's nice to meet you. Of course. Before I came here, I belonged to a renowned opera company. Perhaps you've heard of me? The Middlefranc Opera Company's beautiful, peerless.
Spare our colleague the needless chatter, Manuela.
Oh, Professor! Dropping by so soon? I expected we'd take some time, exchange a few smiles as we passed in the hall, flirt a bit, you know. Well, you're here now, and I do like a man who knows what he wants. Lock the door. Huh. That welcome didn't faze you at all, did it? What's the matter? Don't you like me? Or are you just so innocent you don't understand me? You know, Professor, there are some things I'll just never understand. Like the other night, I went on a date with a dashing, handsome, strong young knight. Oh, I'm a bit weak just remembering him. Anyway, do you know what that no-good jerk said when we got back to my room? He said, "What a mess. I'm afraid to go in there." Can you believe it? You know who cares about keeping everything neat and tidy? Not me, that's who. Afraid to go in there. Some knight he is. Did you hear? There's news of someone in the kingdom raising an army. The kingdom, the empire, the alliance. They do love a good war, don't they? Spilling the blood of young men and women. And for what? Just to enjoy the horror of it? Professor, I hope you're well. As for me, I had a date with a splendid specimen of a knight. But now he's suddenly not in the mood to see me again. I blame all these rumors of a deathly figure showing up in town. Such an uproar must have, beyond reason, drawn his attention away from me. It's awful, just awful what happened with the rite of rebirth. The infirmary. Well, it was a mess. Things are finally calm again, and so I've come here to unwind. Let me tell you, I put all of my knowledge to use keeping those kids alive. Still, the truth of it is that when someone faces death for the first time, well, they figure out who they are. They learn if they can do it again. We can't lose them, Professor. Not to battle or to cowardice. If you can keep them going, then I will too. Oh, settle down and stop with the knocking. I'll be there in 2 shakes. Oh, dear. Professor? Is that you? Just a moment. Oh, what should I do? I can't open the door in this state. Manuela, you simply must quit oversleeping. Hold on. Where are my clothes? I can't even find my... Where in blazes is my underwear? Oh, what is my dressing robe belt caught on? I can't tie this properly. It's not even covering... Oh, Manuela. This will have to do. I'm fine. Just hold on a moment. Hello. Sorry to have kept you waiting. So, what do you want? Excuse me? You had a reason for coming here, I assume. I've put a lot of time and effort into making it possible to talk with you, you know. No, you've done nothing wrong. Let's just say I'm not having a good day. Actually, I didn't have a good night. Never mind. What did you want, anyway? You heard from him? The fellow from last night? Huh. What did he have to say? Yeah, figures. Kind of saw it coming, actually. That's why I came back to my room and went to bed. To get over it. Thank you for checking in on me. Was that all you wanted? Well then, good night.
Of course, the professors also fight alongside their respective houses.
Well, usually. Professor Manuela is being prudent. She will not be participating this year. Since his longtime rival will be absent, Professor Hanneman has also declined.
Oh, don't worry about us. You know you want to see the kids in action.
Are you feeling any better, Professor Manuela?
Thanks to all of you. But I'd only be a burden out there. My students don't need to see me collapsed. Well, not on the battlefield anyway.
Correct. We will not be participating. Regardless, do not expect victory to come easily, or at all.
Well put. We've spent the past few months pushing our students to their limits. You can see me in the infirmary after they destroy you. Oh my, look at you! If you're as confident as all that, my students will walk all over you. I always thought I was pretty good, you know? Then I'd go and get stabbed. Oh. But my opponent was the Death Knight, so I figure I did pretty well to only get stabbed. I wonder if it's true that he is actually Yuritsa. Whoever he is, I'm going to make him pay. It turns out that when I get stabbed, I get really mad. I'm not going to let him get the better of me again. You know, I'm more than willing to go with you to Remire Village. After all, I owe you my life. If you'd like, I bet we could even manage the mission all by ourselves. Just the two of us. Professor! A bit of a tease, are we? A girl could get used to this side of you.
Nice try, but I'll be going to the village as well. Enough nonsense. It's time to move out.
As you like. Goodbye, Gerald. Goodbye, Professor. I know you figure medicine and magical healing are two ways to do the same thing, but it's way deeper than that. Medicine is all about preventing infection and suppressing symptoms with, well, medicine. That's probably obvious. But magical healing is focused on closing up wounds faster, raising a body's vital energy, stuff like that. Hello, Professor. I know that look in your eye. You want to ask me a favor. You want me to help out with your class, right? You just say the word, and I'll help however I can. Don't worry about it. You're just starting out as a teacher, right? It's only natural for those of us with more experience to help the younger generation. Professor, a pleasure to see you. I was here for confessional, confessing my foolishness. While I'm at it, may I confess something to you, too? I realize what a burden I've been. On you, I mean. After every breakup, I neglect my work, and I know how that affects you. I'm completely worthless as a woman. Can you imagine how that feels? Oh, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. I just know it. You think so too, don't you? Really? So if I couldn't find anybody else, you'd marry me? Oh, don't worry. I can tell by the look on your face you didn't mean it. What's wrong with me? It's not my looks. I'm still gorgeous. Or am I? Be honest, do I look old? No, not possible. I'm the songstress who swept the Empire off its feet. Men professed their love for me hourly. It can't be my looks. I knew I was right. I'd be in real trouble if I weren't this beautiful. Oh no. If the problem isn't my looks, and they are not the problem, then it must be... what? My personality? A girl can tell a lie when she hears one. You think there's a problem, don't you? I suppose I can be a bit unkempt. I do have a short temper, and I may be a little lazy, sometimes. But I've always heard fellas, you know, like a woman with a few flaws. Seems to me there are plenty of flawed girls who have landed themselves a good man. So maybe my trouble is I'm not imperfect enough. Do you think I could use a few more flaws? Are you saying I'm perfect as I am? Come now, you'll make me blush. It's raining, Professor. On rainy days, the wound I got from the Death Knight hurts like fire. Every time it aches, I get angry. You understand, yeah? I'm sure they had their reasons to kidnap Flame, but still. Did they really need to stab me? What'd I have to do with it? They ruined my beautiful porcelain skin. Worse, they took off before I could stab them back. So rude.
That's rather enough, Manuela. Cease your moaning and give the professor a break.
Oh, stuff it, Hanneman. Unlike you, the professor has a big heart and listens to me talk about any problem I have.
More likely, your incessant ramblings offer no chance to interrupt.
Is that true, Professor? I knew it! You listen to me because you care about me, don't you? Ugh, go away, Hanneman. Leave us alone. Great, just great. It's that time when all the students get all lovey-dovey. You're new, but you know about the ball, yeah? I can't bear it. Young love is wasted on the young. They can't appreciate it to its fullest. Ugh. I wish I could fall in love too. I have something rather uncomfortable to discuss. It's about the weapon that killed Geralt. Will you listen? It was a dagger, but I know enough to know it wasn't an ordinary dagger. It wasn't made of iron or steel because, well, because whatever it was, the wound it left wasn't normal. Who could make a blade like that, do you figure? The Holy Tomb, huh? I've worked here for years, and this is the first I've heard of it. I mean, it does make some sense. Sort of. Something about it is still weird. I understand now why they'd build the monastery in the mountainous center of Fodlan. Although, when the monastery was built, the Kingdom and Alliance weren't even around yet. But look how cleverly it was placed, right in the middle of the Empire, Kingdom, and Alliance. That's weird, right? So I said, two can play at that game. I told him, a small-time little weasel like you ought to be begging me for attention. Oh, it gets me so mad, so worked up. Why aren't there any men around here who understand what a catch I am? Come to think of it, you've always been nice to me. I mean, you listen to all my problems. I feel like I can really trust you. I don't have that kind of thing with a lot of people. Right, I got it. I knew you'd say we were just friends. I'd like to maybe talk about this once the war is over. Once we're all safe. All right, enough of this moping around. What we need is a change of mood. We've still got a lot to do together. When I think about that, what are 1 or 2 men? What's wrong is, it's not just 1 or 2 men, it's more like 100 men, maybe even 200, more! I'm completely... Oh, I can't get out of this mood! Actually, I've got an idea. Exercise will help. I'm going to the training ground. Come on and give me a hand. Gonna work my anger out on 100 training dummies. Maybe 200 if we've got 'em. After the battle 5 years ago, the Imperial Army occupied Garreg Mach. The cathedral and several other buildings were destroyed, but we've done some repair work here and there, and we're using the buildings as a base of operations. As for me, well, the church moved its headquarters to Fargus, and I've seen no reason to follow. When I returned to Enbar, I received a summons from Her Majesty, and I chose to answer. Remember the Death Knight who stabbed me 5 years ago? Of course you do. How could you forget? Well, it turns out he's a general in the Imperial Army. He leads the Western Front against the Kingdom. Once I knew he was at Garreg Mach, I stormed right up to him, told him who I was and what he did. And he offered me an apology. I'm talking about a sincere, heartfelt, solemn apology. What a letdown. What's going on with that guy anyway? Who is he under that mask? You know as well as I do, the day's coming that we'll have to fight the Archbishop and her knights. We've got some strong fighters here, sure. But even with all our training, I don't know if we can win. I just don't see how any of us can compete with the Archbishop, say, turning into a monster. That's exactly what I was just saying. I've always appreciated how you listened to me. How have we come to this? Fighting the Archbishop and her knights? I'd never imagined. I hate this so much. Professor, I tried. I gave treatment to everyone I could, but lives were still lost. The infirmary is as much a morgue right now as it is a place of care and healing. Professor, do you mind if I complain about something, well, personal? Of course you don't. This army is almost all single men. If that marital status came before or during the war, I'm not to say. The point is, I'm in charge of the infirmary. I wind up treating hundreds of men every week. I get to talk to all sorts of men from all walks of life, all of the time. And yet... Forget that. I can't even find a boyfriend. Marriage is just... a joke. Just a sick joke. At this point, you're the only man who pays attention to me. I guess I'll have to take what I can get.
Sorry. It looks like I'm going to have to leave you now. One day, I hope you'll give this ring to someone you love, as well as I love her.
Oh, are you sure you should be here? There must be tons of young girls falling over themselves just to get near a hero like you. Or are you not interested in such attention? What? Not looking for romance, then? So that's why you never gave in, no matter how many times I tried. Listen, I get it. No need to explain anything. It's better this way. It means I wasn't the problem. Wait, am I the problem? I suppose if I had some charm, maybe you would have fallen for me. Oh, why does this always happen to me? I don't doubt it. So, who's the lucky gal? You probably have your pick. What? Have you gotten me confused with someone else? Look, you don't need to take pity on me, okay? Or... that's not it, is it? I can see it in your eyes. Nobody's looked at me that way in a long, long time. I sound like a schoolgirl, but this is the moment I've always dreamed of. So of course I'm going to mess it up by not knowing how to answer. Just give me a minute to compose myself. Okay. Come on, Manuela. Whew, that's better. So, my answer... Yes! Yes, I would love to marry you! I'm a complete mess, and I'll be a massive pain to you from now on. But in exchange for the trouble, I promise to give you all of my love. So don't let me down, you hear? You know, until this moment, I didn't realize how much my heart longed to call you my own. I want to love you, and to be loved by you. I want to share my life with you. And you really like that idea? Oh, oh goodness. Oh, I just giggled. Maybe I'm not as old as I tell myself. Or maybe you just make me feel good about myself, my darling. The mastermind behind the attacks on the monastery was Edelgard? Wow. Doesn't make much sense, though, does it? There would need to be all sorts of territories and groups tangled up in this sort of mess. I'm gonna stop. I don't really have the head for this political stuff. Mostly, I'm worried about my old opera company. I wonder what's happening in the capital right now. I hope they're safe. My Professor, you haven't changed a bit. At your age, I'd expect your whole demeanor to have changed greatly over 5 years. Though, I suppose I haven't changed either, right? Thank you for noticing, by the way. Ah, just the two of us, forever young. Oh, let me have my fun. Hearing that an old student has died cuts me right to the heart. As this war with the Empire continues, we'll see more of it, Professor. We have a duty to fight alongside our former students. We taught them how to fight, after all. Now, let's help them win. Oh, hello there, Professor. Did you need something from me? It doesn't look like you're wounded or anything. You just looking for someone to talk to? I thought so. Well, I'm here for you. Making you feel better is my top priority. Whether it's physical pain or worries of the heart, you can come to me for anything, Professor. Each step closer to Enbar, I'm reminded of another part of my past. Riches and poverty, glory and failure. That city has it all. And if I'm honest, sometimes I miss it. That's how the past works, though, isn't it? It's always a different story than what you really lived. opera, actors came and went all the time, but the people behind the scenes would stay forever. I'll bet I'd know a few of them now, even after all these years. I wonder if they've left the capital. I certainly hope so.
Professor?
Professor, I just got word from the opera company. I don't know if everyone survived, but it looks like they should be able to mount a revival. They even asked if I'd consider making a return to the stage someday. I suspect I may refuse, though. We're at the dawn of something new. No reason to look backwards, eh? Life can be tough, you know. But if you've got your friends to help you through, it can be a lot easier. Maybe you butt heads sometimes, but that's okay. That's how you build bonds, right? And I've got friends, Professor, plenty of those. It's true love that seems to have passed me by. But where is my true love to be found? Where is my ray of hope? At this point, you're the only man who pays attention to me. I guess I'll have to take what I can get.